Hi everybody, you are watching tutorials. My name is Alex and today we're going to design this negative space logo in Adobe Illustrator, and this logo is largely inspired by this design that I found logoground.com. And Logoground is a great place to sell logos, to buy logos, and well, to be inspired as well. So take a look. I include the link on the description. So for this logo design, we need a combination of things. First, we're gonna design it in the most effortless way, and I will show you how to use one of the scripts. So you need to install the script. It's a free script that's called Archimedean Spiral, but I also show you the way without the script as well. It's take more time, but well, let's start our tutorial here in Adobe Illustrator. So once you install the script, you can enroll in my course Effortless. It's free due to the 8th of April, so you can enroll and learn how to become more productive as vector artist in industry standard of vector software. So once you install the script that's called Archimedean Spiral, you can click go to the file scripts, Archimedean Spiral, and you will bring up the Archimedean Spiral. It's amazing design, and now we need to slice using scissors tool part of this Archimedean Spiral. So what I'm gonna do, I just want to slice here. Let me increase the Archimedean Spiral, this guy, and delete it holding V key, and then grab scissors tool again, click C, and slice this guy as well. So delete this design. So we generally leave only 3 circles of this in this design. Next, we need to go to the stroke and click to bring up the stroke panel and round the caps. Next, grab the Shift W, grab the width tool, and increase the width on the inner end of this spiral, just like so. Generally something like that. And as well we can increase just a little bit the width here. So so far so good. Next I'm gonna set other color, let's say recolor to blue, and Ctrl Shift Q, or in your case probably it's gonna be object path outline stroke. I highly encourage you to use custom shortcuts. It's speed up your workflow, and again you can learn it in my course how to apply and assign custom shortcuts. So so far so good. Let's build our shape, but before we need to add this design, this Archimedean Spiral, to the symbols panel. So through it simply to the symbols. If you can find your symbols panel, go to the Windows Symbols here, Shift Ctrl F11 or Shift Command F11 on your Mac. So bring up the symbols options dialog box and click OK, leaving all values as a default. Great, guys. Grab the ellipse tool, click L to grab the ellipse tool, and draw a perfect circle holding Shift and Alt or Shift and Option on your Mac. Option can be omitted, of course, because it's just my preferred way to draw them from the center. Next, change a color, something very distinct. Here, grab the click slash to grab the line tool and create a line that bisects this circle here. Grab the regular selection tool and navigate to the align horizontal center and align them horizontally. Then grab the shape builder tool, Shift M, and slice one of the part. Grab the selection tool again and delete all of this stuff except this left part. Let's go to the effect of 3D revolve. You see it here. In open dialog box, first of all, let's check this preview so we can see that we create a cylinder, and this is because we need to change offset H. So change the offset H from the left to the right. So far so good, we have this circle, and let's map the art. But before, let's apply the diffuse shading so we can see the colors that are a little bit more smooth. So click, bring up the map art panel, and from this drop down select your symbol, new symbol here. Then push it to the visible area. All of these light areas are visible, and all of these grayish areas are in hidden areas of our 3D object. Let's decrease the size of it and position it like so, so we can see what is going on. I think I need to decrease a little bit more the size of this circle. Let's shade the artwork itself and click the invisible geometry. So far so good. I simply want to throw it like this, and then change just a little bit the X and Y value. So let me go again and rotate this circle just like so. So I finish with the values of 18 for X, negative 20 for Y, and Z value equals 0 to 7. Let's go to the more options, and let's define the surface light source. So my light source is coming from the top left, and I'm gonna put it like here. So we need to hold left mouse button key on this bullet and then arrange it on this guy here. So far so good. We can actually set the blend steps to 0 to decrease the complexity of this illustration, and also, if you prefer, you can set a no shading and then apply the gradient. But I just want to set the diffuse shading so I can. It's just easy for me to place other elements according to my light source. So click OK. So far so good. We have this 3D object. We can then rearrange and change everything, and as you can see, our cap that is inside here is pointing to the bottom, and I wish to point it to the top, and in order to do this we can simply do one trick. We can double click on our symbol. Adobe Illustrator will prompt you with this message: you are about to edit the symbol definition, which means that it's affect everything, parent symbol and every other instances in your set. And here I want to grab the shift key, press the shift key and rotate my symbol just like so. So you can see now my inner cap is pointing to the top here. Leave the new symbol dialog box, and now as you can see our symbol is already changed just like so. We can also rotate it a little bit further even. So this time I want to use a shift key. I just want to rotate it to around 160 degrees for my particular design. It looks good. Let's grab the line tool again. So grab the line, click shift. I'm gonna delete this instance. Click /, backslash, and create a line that gonna be our arrow, and then add the stroke to this line and increase the stroke weight. So let's say for this illustration I'm gonna work with the 12 points. It also depends on the size of your target. So far so good. Let's go and align it more preciously. In order to do this, I'm going to disable the align to pixel grid and push it a bit to the bottom. Again, my keyboard increment that you can define on the settings is roughly is about 0 and 2 pixels, so I can move my line very preciously. Let's do a duplicate of this line. Control C, Control C, Control F. You can see I'm working with duplicate of this line, and I also want to create an arrowhead. So in order to do this, this is the stock panel again, and here I want to find the arrowheads panel, sub panel, and then from this drop down select the arrowhead number 20. Okay, and then decrease the scale value here by typing 50. So far so good. Let's position it across along the arrow itself to something like that. And since we already defined the whole shape, its arrow helps us to define, we can set our original file, our original line to the white. Bring up the color picker and choose the white. Great. Let's also work with our arrowhead. We need to convert it to the outline the stroke. So go to the object path and outline stroke. And then delete this part by entering the group and click delete on your keyboard. You can also grab the direct selection tool and select these two guys on the bottom, I mean points, and holding this bullet around the corners. Great, we're almost done. Last but not least, we need to a little bit clean up our shape, our target shape, and also create a shadow and then clip the shadow. So in order to create a shadow, we need to select our original white line and Control C, Control B this time, or Command C, Command B on your Mac to create a duplicate, and this duplicate should be on the bottom. Then select the top point of this duplicate and holding this point, position it just like here, and we need to set an angle, maintain the angle according to the light source. As you can see, my light source is coming from the top left, so I'm gonna set my shadow, of course, to the to the bottom right. So far so good. Let's go to the stroke, and I'm gonna set the color to at least D. So it's the lightest color I can afford here for my shadow. So grab the open the color picker and then set the color to D. Click OK to render it to recolor it to gray, and then apply the multiply color mode. So go to the transparency panel, visit this drop down and choose a multiply here. So as you can see, it also helps us to define our shadow, and now I want to reposition it by and hide our shadow by the arrow shape itself. So select our target shape that we need to expand to regular Adobe Illustrator object. It's not necessary, but I want to make some minor changes to this shape. So In my case, I can use a shortcut Alt Shift Control Q or go to the object expand appearance. Then use your right mouse button key and ungroup it probably twice, and then release clipping mask. So release the clipping mask and delete this invisible passes that form the first clipping mask. Then ungroup it again and ungroup it again. Oh, release clipping mask again. And as you can see, basically our 3D shape is a combination of the sphere with a bunch of Adobe Illustrator objects to denote the light source, right? And also this clipping mask. So select this clipping mask and hide the square by clicking on this airball on the left of your layers panel. With this clipping mask, duplicate it, Ctrl C, Ctrl F. Then select your shadow and can outline the stroke. Go to the object path, outline the stroke. Now select this, bring it in front, this shape. We can basically enter the outline mode, so we can it's more convenient for us. And select this shape, both shapes. Duplicate of this clipping path and also our shadow, and grab the shape builder tool, of course, Shift M on your keyboard. Then you can define either these shapes or simply slice this shape that goes beyond our target, our clipping mask. So far so good. We get rid of this tail of our shadow, and we can enter the normal mode by clicking Ctrl Y, Command Y. So as you can see, it also helps us to a little bit reposition our shape, and I believe we can do this. Okay, we need to return to our object and reposition it like so. Now it's fully hidden by the original arrow, and we need to do probably we need to make a duplicate of our arrow. You see it here, it's duplicate of our white arrow. Ctrl C, Ctrl F, or Command C, Command F on your Mac, and then keeping everything selected, both my target shape and my arrow. Grab the shape builder tool again, Shift M on your keyboard, and slice this part that contains our distant cap. Okay, and slice it to hide our arrow. Now delete the rest of the duplicate and leave the outline mode. Ctrl Y, Command Y here. And now we have two options: either position on in front of this circle and grab this clipping mask and clip the mask. You see it here. So it's kind of we return to the original state, or we can make it with the gradient. We can define apply the gradient to the plane shape, so we can delete it, and or use it as a reference for our colors. So let's I want to size down them. I want to size down it, and then apply the any color to this target shape, and go to the gradient panel. Let me undock it to focus more clearly, and click on this slider to give it a color. As you can see, it's already my direction is set, and you can set it with a G by clicking G, or grabbing the gradient tool, and then position it just like so. Now keep it selected and select the first gradient stop. In my case it's light, and let's grab hold Shift key. Let's grab the air picker tool, and holding Shift key just put the light blue first gradient stop. Then select the black gradient stop, and holding Shift key select the second color from the color picker. And let's also wrap this gradient as well. So I just simply want to sample this gradient from the target, and then grab the midpoint, this diamond shape on the top, and position it, set location to around 90. So almost get rid of it. It should be simply on this tipping point. So far so good. How we can enhance it? We can play also with the color of our shadow. We can set it more prominent by going below to the bottom of our color picker. Let's say B2, 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 and make it more prominent here on our illustration. So this is how you can create this negative space logo using combination of tools, 3D, symbols, and scripts in Adobe Illustrator. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. If you do, give us some bob, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget, guys, to visit tutorials for more Adobe Illustrator and graphic designer tutorials, and as well grab my course, best course, for free due to 9th of April. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day.